Okay. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Actually, we'll also switch on this light. Let's make it as bright as is possible. Yes. How are you doing, my loves? How are you doing? How 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 you doing? Yay! Hello, 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 and welcome to the Empower Experience with R&K. How are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Let's move things around. Okay, today we're looking at regret. Oh, regret. Have you ever felt that feeling, that internal yuck of looking back at things that you did or didn't do and feeling horrible that you did them or didn't do them and you can't seem to shake that feeling of shame and despair as you consider the things you haven't done, as you consider how much time has been wasted, and all of that stuff. Can I tell you right now that regret, it is one of those emotions that can drain your energy and it doesn't get you anywhere. So, what's the point of indulging it? We're going to look at some specific areas where people tend to experience regret. And if we are those ambitious spiritual people who are absolutely determined to live to the fullness of your potential, to live to make a great amount of money whilst living in your purpose, you can no longer afford to look back. It's like the story of Lot's wife. You can't afford to look back. Lot's wife leaving the place there where she has experienced pain and suffering, and she's looking back as though the good old days, and she turns into a pillar of salt. That's exactly what we cannot afford to do. We cannot afford to keep looking back with regret, with shame, as if it gets us anywhere. It doesn't support you in getting anywhere. So, what's the point? Let's start by singing our affirmation for this week. I let go easily. Nothing is worth my prosperity. I let go. I let go easily. Okay, I'm Rosemary Lonely Knight, by the way, in case you did not know, I am the prosperity minister. I support ambitious spiritual people to live in their purpose and to make at least six figures whilst doing so, to leave behind the pain, the limiting beliefs of the past, to rise victorious in their true design life. That's what I do. Are you one of us? Then listen in, because it's time to dump the regret, the despair, the shame. It's done. It's time to be done with that stuff. I got thinking about this because I was speaking to a cousin actually earlier today, and he was expressing regret that he hadn't started investing in property 2 3 years ago when he had more money and more this and more the other. And I'm just like, you know what? Yes, you should have. You should have. But you know what? Today is a good day to start. So, what's the point of even spending 1 ounce of your energy looking back and wishing that you had done it then? Now is the time to begin. And I say that to you too, even as I start talking about these specific issues. But let's start by connecting with the divine as we sing this affirmation. But first, just take a deep breath with me. We invite you, divine, to this live stream right now. Anyone listening to this will get exactly what they need to move forward. I decree it, I declare it, it is done. Now the affirmation. I let go easily. Nothing is worth my prosperity. I let go. I let go easily. I let go easily. Nothing is worth my prosperity. I let go. I let go easily. One more time. I let go easily. Nothing is worth my prosperity. I let go. I let go easily. Woo! And letting go. And letting go of anything that would hold you back, that would keep you from your destiny, that would keep you from prosperity. There's so many things, so many blocks people carry inside of them, and regret is definitely one of them. I know regret was a place, and can sometimes, if I'm not careful, be a place that I indulge. I look back and think, why didn't I start doing all this business building stuff? ages ago? Why did I even bother becoming a pharmacist? Why did I waste so much time on draining relationships? Why didn't I immediately see that it was just eating up my energy? Why? And when I get myself into that state, I realize this is not helping me. It is not getting me anywhere. And I love myself. I choose very deliberately to look back at my life and see that every single reason that I have for regret caused me to become the person that I am today. Every single event brought me to this place. And so, yes, I could have done things differently. I didn't have to make those mistakes, but I did. There's no point in staying there and wishing I had done differently. I didn't. And it's still okay. I'm still alive. There is still hope. There are still things I can do to move myself forward. Same thing goes for you. And then I pull my brain away from indulging regret as if it gets you anywhere, as if spending lots of time thinking you should be further along by now. Does it get you anywhere? Except wasting even more time and energy on the wrong thing. So now you create another opportunity to regret in the future. Enough. Enough. So maybe, yes, you made the wrong career choice. Like I did, for sure. I became a pharmacist. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. But that time could have been spent building a business. Could have been, yeah, but let's not go there, right? I am not indulging regret. You may have spent years, you may even still be in a career that does not align with your life's purpose. And so you feel like you've wasted valuable time. You wasted your youth, you've wasted whatever, pursuing things that made you feel approved of by the people in your life, but left you feeling empty and unfulfilled. And so you keep looking back with, why didn't I do something different? Why am I still wasting time doing this? Blah, 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 blah. And I remember actually having a client who, when we started talking about moving away from she was an attorney, moving away from being an attorney into doing her business stuff, she was like, yeah, but I spent so much money, so much time building this career. My parents invested so much money. How can I move on from it? And I'm like, honey, you have another 40 years at least alive. Are you going to spend the next 40 years in the same career that you already regret being in, instead of giving yourself the opportunity to move on to something different? She started to see, oh, this regret is what will keep you stuck in the wrong career. Don't indulge it. Yes, I'm not asking anyone to make any sudden moves, but I am saying, if your career right now is unfulfilling, instead of regretting that you didn't do something different, instead of regretting that you spent so much time doing it, forget all of that. Just decide now. Decide now. I will back myself and start creating something, a career, a business that feels more in line with who I am. You can change at the moment's notice. And I don't care how much time or money you've invested in creating the career you're in right now. Yes, it might be scary because you might be starting from scratch, doing something different. But do you really want to go to the grave having not lived the life you're actually meant for? I certainly hope not. Okay. Now, you might have tried the whole business thing. You might have tried the business thing and failed dismally. You might have given it so much effort, so much of your attention, tried so hard, and it just didn't succeed in the time that you gave it. Because, listen, failure, the only way you fail is if you quit. So you may have quit before it had an opportunity to grow and to succeed. And so now you're feeling shame, deep shame that you tried something and failed, because that's not who you are. You are not somebody who quits easily. You are not somebody who expects to fail at anything. And so somehow you did fail at this business venture. You forget that most of us were programmed to be in jobs. So whenever you start a business, the kind of mindset shift that are required, most people do not foresee. You don't understand what it's going to take for you, a trained, programmed employee, to become a successful business owner. You thought that the same skills, the same mindset that you had to create your successful career was going to be enough to build your business. It wasn't. It wasn't. It's almost a completely different way of looking at life to be in business as it is to be in a career. But you didn't know that. So now you feel ashamed that you failed. And we're also programmed by society, by life, by people ahead of us, whatever, that we should never fail. So that just even compounds this deep sense of regret and shame. Be done. Mistakes happen and they can become the path to success. I said this, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, that the reason why I succeed is because I failed more than most people are willing to fail. I have made more mistakes than most people are willing to make. And I stood up and kept going, stood up and kept going. I fell down 20 million times and I stood up 20 million at one time. And that's why I succeed where others fail. Not because I've never failed, not because I've never made a mistake, but because I just refuse to allow that mistake to define who I am or to define my future. Just because I made a mistake and it didn't quite work that time does not mean that I'm not worthy of it, does not mean that it isn't my destiny. So I got up and kept walking. So can you. So stop looking back with regret at things that you made a mistake around. So what? Mistakes are stepping stones to your success. Mistakes are just parts of the journey. So get over it. Let people think what they're thinking. They're sitting on their ass doing nothing. Why do you care what they're thinking about you? Basically, I want to hear what you're thinking. Is this resonating with you? If this resonating with you, tell me in the comments. I want to know. Okay. So yes. So who cares? Who cares that you made mistakes? Who cares that you failed previously? It does not define what can happen next. Now you come with even more knowledge, even more experience. You are perfectly positioned to succeed right now. So stop looking back and making that seem as if that means anything. It means nothing. It's time to move forward, my love. It's time to move forward. Another example where people indulge regret is in their financial struggles. Right now, you may be currently experiencing real financial difficulty. Okay, maybe you're in debt, and the world, again, speaking to my cousin today, and one of the things we're like middle class and low, well, middle class particularly, the middle class thinking around debt is that it's something to be ashamed of. It's something to. I remember actually once when I was talking about the business that I'm starting and blah 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 to one of my old church friends, and this was particularly a church where the business was really not to be admired. It was, it was all about being poor and struggling, basically, whilst claiming that this is. I don't want to diminish it, but there was a sense of if you're not struggling, if you're not in pain, then you're not spiritual enough. Basically, was the vibe I got. So there I am talking about the business that I'm getting going, and the first thing the person asks is, "So how much debt are you in?" As if this is something for me to be ashamed of. It's like, so what? I use other people's money to build my business. So freaking what? I don't see debt the same as anybody else does. I really don't anymore. I used to. And yeah, if you're using debt for perishable things that it will never repay you anything, then that's a whole different kettle of fish. And you definitely want to do something about that. But if you're using debt to build out a business or to invest in yourself, who the frick cares? You can't, don't allow the common man's thinking about debt to shame you. Are you kidding me? No, there's nothing to be regretted if you've invested in yourself. Guess what? No, nothing, no one can take what is invested in you, and because you have the opportunity to use it again, unless you keep indulging debt, guilt and shame and regret about how much debt you're in or any of that stuff. Forget all that. The way you get out of debt, honey, is to make more money. Make more. Stop indulging this feeling of I'm supposed to be further along in life, honey. So many people think that you'd be surprised just how normal you are at this point in your life to still be experiencing financial struggle, instead of allowing it to define you and making it mean something that it does not mean about you. Get up, start living your purpose, and get paid to do so. Find a way to do it instead of looking back and thinking, oh, I should have done things differently. Your financial success does not determine your worth. Please stop looking at money as some kind of determinant of anything about you. Decide, okay, yeah, that was the season of my life. I'm now done with it. I'm now ready to open up to more wealth. What can I do next, divine? Ask the divine for support and move forward. Ask the divine for ideas to increase your income and get support. Come and work with me. I will show you how to increase your income. Seriously, stop allowing the fact that you're currently financially restricted to mean anything about your future. Enough with despair about your financial struggles, okay? Guilt again about being a parent. I mentioned this briefly, was it yesterday or the day before? Guilt about being a parent or the decisions you've made as a parent. This is where again people indulge regret that you maybe didn't spend enough time with your children. Maybe you failed as a dad or a mom, or so you think. Or maybe your children are really messing around and you wonder what on earth you did to cause this, and blah 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 blah. And so then you're just living in this regret that you didn't do things differently, that you weren't a better parent, that you were this, that all of that, all of that. Yeah, okay. Maybe you did make mistakes, but guess what? Nobody taught us how to be parents. We learned on the job. And so, unless you are particularly unloving, which if you're feeling guilt or regret about how you parented your children or how you're currently parenting your children, then the chances are there's love inside of you. Then it's time instead of indulging regret to right now learn. There are books. There are ways that if you did something to your children, call them up, apologize, speak with them, and if they don't want to anymore because now they're grown up and they want nothing to do with you, okay, it was a mistake. It doesn't define your future. Let it go. Do what you can to rectify the relationship. But what does guilt do? What does regret do? You can't go back and change anything. You can't. So what's the point of dwelling in this feeling of you're not good enough? What was it? Yeah, I said this to you guys, and I'm going to say again. Guilt, regret, all of that stuff. It tells your subconscious mind that you are not worthy of success. And so then you will start doing stupid things that sabotage your ability to create success. So you can't afford this anymore. You can't afford to be looking back with regret. You can't afford to feel guilty about past choices. Apologize, rectify what you can, and move freaking forward. Put all of your energy into becoming who you now choose to be rather than looking back and wondering why you did this and why you didn't do that. How does it help anything? Yeah, even if your children are annoyed, even if whatever, there's still nothing you can do looking back. So it's time to decide who do I now choose to be and start living to that person. Clear the blocks. Come on, clear the blocks. Get a copy of my book and remove the blocks. Okay, it's going to. I'm about to put that in there. A whole step-by-step strategy for clearing stuff. So it's enough. Stop indulging these ideas because I know sometimes we get into this idea that I'm not allowed to feel good now because I've made these mistakes. That somehow it's you have to keep punishing yourself forever. But does it actually help the person that you did whatever it is you did to? Does it help you? No, it helps no one. So why are you indulging this feeling of guilt and regret or shame? Be done with it. You did the best that you could. You did the best that you could. So from this moment forward, who do you choose to be? How do you choose to show up? Start now. What of regret over staying in unfulfilling relationships? This again, where you've stayed longer than you should have in a relationship that drained your energy, whether it was a soulmate relationship or whether it was a just extended family or friendships or whatever. And one of the biggest areas that keeps people from their living in their purpose is actually the relationships that they surround themselves with. So you might realize now that you spend unnecessary amounts of time with people in your life who do not support you, with people in your life who just drained you, and you were giving and giving and giving and giving to them. And so you stayed in those relationships because you were afraid of being alone, or you were afraid of what? You're afraid of getting divorced, maybe. Maybe it was that bad that you just didn't want to get divorced. You didn't want to separate because you wondered what people would think of you. But now you realize you should just have left ages ago. And so now instead of moving forward with your life, you're indulging regret. It feels productive because you just have to keep beating yourself up for mistakes made. But is it actually productive? Is it actually getting you anywhere? There might be a part of you thinking that if I don't spend all this time in regretting things, then I might make the same mistakes again. You are more likely to make the same mistake again because you are spending so much time going over and over and over again. You are cementing it in your subconscious mind. And so your subconscious is going to take over and start making you take actions blindly that lead you back to that same situation because you have told your subconscious mind by continually going over and over and over and over and over these mistakes that you think you've made. By going over and over it, you have cemented in your subconscious mind that this is something you want to experience again. And so you'll get the opportunity to experience it again. Are you done with that? Are you done with that? It's time to connect to the divine and ask that divine love flow through you, dissolving the regret, dissolving, resolving, evolving that situation, all of those situations where you stayed in unfulfilling relationships, painful relationships for far too long, or whatever else that you're regretting. Let divine love flow through you and heal you, and you move forward. You focus on who you now choose to be and move yourself forward. Maybe you're ashamed that you are not as spiritual, as deeply connected to the divine as you feel you should be at this point. I used to, because I was brought up Christian, and I really, really have always longed for deep connection with the divine. And I know I went through a big period of time where I really wasn't giving it attention. I wasn't giving it enough time. So I felt ashamed that I wasn't more spiritual than I was at that time. But again, how does that help? Again, how does it help? How does it help for you to indulge regret about the fact that you're not as deeply connected as you would like to be? If anything, that feeling of regret will keep you from going deep. And so then you have more to regret instead. Particularly if you're, a very practical, action-oriented person, there might be a part of you that always hid your spirituality. And so now you feel ashamed that you did. Enough, enough, enough indulging these ideas, indulging these regrets. Today is a good day to just lean into the divine, say, I'm sorry for being ashamed of you, and fully own who I now choose to be. And then step by step by step, start going deeper with the divine. Start doing the things that you've dreamt about doing spiritually. Start doing them. Start speaking up. Start being yourself in whatever situation with whoever you're speaking to. Be yourself. Let people think what they think. You be you. The way you're going to live that free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love drenched life is by you being yourself, your spiritual self. Even in a very, because you might be you work in an environment or be around people who really demean spiritual people. Fully show up as who you are. Okay, let people think what they're thinking. Be done with looking back and regret, and then still not doing what you want to do. Enough. What of regret about not taking risks? You're suddenly looking back, just like my cousin was. Why didn't I invest that money at that point? Why didn't I this and that? Why didn't I do the other? Why didn't I start earlier in life? Oh my goodness, it's too late for me. Blah, 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 blah. Enough. It's not too late. You're still alive, aren't you? It's not too late. You're the only one that gets to define whether it's too late or not. You right now is a great time to change things. I don't care how established you are in your life. I've had clients start in their 60s, and they change their life in their 60s. So who are you? What, your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s? So I don't even care if you're in your 70s. You're alive. Well, now is an opportunity to do something different instead of continuing on the path that you're feeling horrible about right now. Be done with thinking that that taking risks is just for the young. It is for you. It's for you as you lean into the divine and recognize that actually it's not a risk because you are supported by the divine. So is it really risky when you step off your stupid path and come back onto your purpose path? Of course it's not risky because you are supported, you are loved, you are protected by the divine. You are never alone. So get up and get on with it, basically. Maybe you're worried about the way you look now because you're older than you used to be. So you're worried about doing things like videos and things like that because the people are just going to look at you and think that you're old. Enough of that nonsense. It's just another day that you continue regretting, another day you get older, another day you feel even more that you're older. Enough. Get a break out of this cycle. Enough. You are not too old to start over. You are not too old to begin now with a new career, a new business, a new life, new relationship. Stop holding on to the past and telling yourself, oh, well, it's too late for me now. Of course it's not. Now is your time. Be done with this nonsense. And frankly, I've heard people saying it's too late in their 30s. Are you kidding me? I've heard people saying it's too late in their 70s. I've heard people saying it's too late in their 30s. According to who? Who determines what is too late and what is not too late? Stop indulging regret, despair that you didn't start earlier, that you're not further along in the path. None of this stuff helps you get anywhere. Stop indulging this stuff. Stop indulging guilt. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. These are things that you need to let go of and start now to live as you intend to live. Sing this with me again now. I let go easily. Nothing is worth my prosperity. I let go. I let go easily. I let go easily. Nothing is worth my prosperity. I let go. I let go easily. Nothing is worth your prosperity. Not regret, not guilt, and definitely not shame. Who you are right now is enough. You are worthy. You are worthy of a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love drenched life if you will claim it. You are the only thing getting in your own way. By indulging these ideas of regret and shame, you are feeding your subconscious mind a seed you do not want the harvest of. So, yes, feel what you need to feel, but then lean into the divine and allow the divine to love you and to dissolve, to resolve, to evolve those feelings inside of you. And then you get clear on what it is you now want out of life, and you start taking action in the direction of it, being grateful for every single event that has happened in your life to date. Okay? Because all of it has made you ready for your breakthrough right now. Listen, go get a copy of my book, Remove the Blocks. It will help you get clear on what your purpose is. It will help you give you a step-by-step strategy for clearing any internal blocks that are keeping you in your past. Okay, and it will also give you a strategy to grow a business to 6 figures whilst transforming other people's lives. It has everything you need to remove the blocks and start living the life you're actually meant for. Are you ready? Or are you done with indulging regret? Good, because it's not serving you. It's not serving you, my love. Okay? So go get a copy of the book. The link is around this video, or it's in my bio if you're on Insta. Go get the book. Read it. Read it. Use it. And also read the emails that I start to send you. When you're invited to have a conversation with me, I would strongly urge you to come and have a conversation with me. Until the next time, my loves, go forth and prosper. Share this video with somebody else. You are worthy of the best of everything. Don't be the only thing in your own way. There is literally no more time to waste in an unfulfilled, a financially restricted life. It's time to rise up and go forth and prosper. Until the next time, my loves, share this with someone else. Go get a copy of the book, Remove the Blocks. Much amazing love. Bye.